Sci-fi. It's a genre of speculative fiction that has allowed many authors to delve into and share their personal perspectives on philosophy, the nature of mankind, and to provide a possible glimpse into our future, be it brutal or optimistic. It's often been a vehicle for allegories pertaining to the human condition. Sci-fi asks and sometimes answers some of the most profound questions that trouble and fascinate us as we look to the stars. What are we? Automations of flesh and simple desires brought on by the vagaries of biochemical reactions? Or are we something more than the sum of our parts? And what is our place in this cosmos? Are we unique amongst the stars? Will we as a species survive long enough to live up to our potential? What wonders will we discover and create along the way to our inevitable destiny? All these questions and more are probed in today's book selection. Unfortunately, it fails to delve into the most pressing enigma that haunted me as I read. Just how dangerous is oral sex when you haven't got any fucking depth perception? Welcome to Freaky Baby. Today's discussion is The Runts of 61 Cygni C by James Grazier, or as I like to call it, a fuckload of expositional dialogue and really bad sex in space. We find our intrepid heroes on the cusp of the 22nd century, balanced precariously on the knife's edge of possible incoming global nuclear catastrophe. Two couples, Alex and Diana, and Amos and Ruth, have volunteered for a deep space jaunt to the distant world of 61 Cygni C in the hopes of finding a Garden of Eden where humanity might thrive light years away from the grievances of the past. Genetically modified, they're all almost 80, but physically in their 30s. Kind of like Sam Neill.
Fear.
As we're introduced to our intrepid heroes, I couldn't help laughing at how the author low-key negs Ruth. Diana describes over a page of breathless and grimy detail for her gravity-defying breasts and her natural blonde curls and soft, inviting lips. Then it sums Ruth up with the quote, Amos's wife, Ruth, was a brilliant space navigator who specialized in ultrastellar navigation, as well as space cybernetics and cryonics.
And how about Marla Hooch? What a hitter!
The book offers page-length paragraphs detailing in the driest possible way the marvels of lunar titanium and artonium, aka lunar uranium, and a quick 8-page breakdown of how Russia became a capitalist ally of the US while future commie China has become an existential threat to mankind in the far-off distant year of 2009. Not content with exposition dumping for the first 25 pages, there's even more speculative world building, cleverly wedged without lube into rambling dialogue about the marvels of food in a tube. There's pages and pages just on the history of tube food, how much more hygienic it is, and how it solved the global famine catastrophe, and how using your jaws to masticate food like some savage caveman was responsible for all the ills of society.
Your world frightens and confuses me.
Be warned, that's literally how every scientific advancement is handled in this novel. It'll either info dump the minutiae in autistic detail or clunkily have one of the characters do it. One example, our intrepid hero's wife, the one that's not the hot leggy blonde, she, speaking like we all do as normal human earthling people, she can be counted on to awkwardly recount every detail of the history of the special planetary landers of this far-flung future. With wistful and awe-struck air, she exposits, "Isn't this modern conveyance wonderful? It's amazing that our brilliant scientists managed to construct this spherical shaped carriage out of clear super duper lunar titanium, which, as we all know, yet I shall remind us of again nonetheless, is immune to temperature fluctuations and kinetic impacts and pressure and whatever the fuck else the plot throws at us. How very lamentable it is that such a wondrous material is so very rare, given that it's only found in but one crater of the moon."
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
For a naughty book, there's very little sex in it. Note, this is very much a positive. How can that be, you ask? A spicy book without the spice? Allow me to read a brief passage in which the Baywatch blonde seductively readies herself for coitus. She kicked off her tight Nilex flight slacks and lay back on the spume foam airbed, excitingly nude from the waist up, clad only in the new Nile glow blue G panties that made her panty area pulse increasing in intensity as sex warmth increased within her. Alex watched her glow with growing desire. Unfortunately, there's also not that much of the runts either. Upon landing, the women are immediately smitten by their massive space dongs and are all about the tiny cycloptic fellows. Despite the allure of his wife's radioactive lingerie, Amos doesn't hold out much longer himself before chasing a bit of interstellar strange. Alex sees this planet for the pleasure trap that it is. It'll strip him of his humanity and sense of duty, leaving him a rutting beast that frolics, fucks, and eats vegan. He rightly decides that that's un-American as fuck and makes a daring escape from the pleasure planet in the hopes of warning his fellow Earthicans.
America, fuck yeah! Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah!
But alas, though only 4 years passed for the round trip and cryosleep, due to relativity, decades have passed since they left. Earth is now smoldering an irradiated pile of rubble.
You maniacs! You blew it up! Oh, damn you! God damn you all to hell!
He assaults sites, though, hovering past New York and other major cities to confirm everyone has been glassed. With little choice left, he turns back, once more daring the long voyage to the planet of the Runts. Once there, he takes a few moments to notice that his compatriots are now nowhere to be found before immediately having disappointing coitus with one of the tiny one-eyed locals.
Oh! 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 Well. Seems as though the boudoir perhaps won't be necessary. I've soiled my pantaloon.
During a chilling moment of post-nut clarity, he notices his joints are now fatter, and he seems to have lost a half an inch off of his original height. Fear sets in as he realizes that continued coupling with this alien species will corrupt his DNA, and like an STD version of CRISPR, he'll eventually be twisted into one of the runts himself. Then he notices his package has gotten a lot bigger and decides, what the hell? Who needs 2 eyes when you're packing 12 inches? Anticipating the philosophy of Thomas Sowell that life is less about perfect solutions and more about trade-offs, author and auteur James Grazer was clearly one of the great thinkers of his day. It's not all bad. There's a few times when the book accidentally stumbles onto something interesting. It suggests at one point that the red spot on Jupiter may actually be an alien stronghold, and that they're so far in advance of humanity that these mysterious aliens thwart any attempts at examination or communication. But the second the book realizes it might accidentally be doing something legitimately entertaining, James tries to bury it under 3 pages of speculative future politics or a dissertation on how AI music is infinitely superior to anything mankind could ever manage because fucking robots, dude. Not the worst book I've ever read, but it's easily in the bottom 10. I give it a 2 out of 10.
Let us remember those immortal words once spoken by a great man. Moi. And I quote, "All good things must come to an end, preferably in a humongous explosion."
Until next time, this has been Freaky Baby. I don't have a catchphrase yet.